Hey everyone, Studfit here. Another episode of The Rundown, this time for the Yoshi Tour. Essentially, The Rundown was created for me to be able to put together just kind of a summary of what's going on in the game from a meta-level strategy perspective. These are things that I was looking for in the game, things like who was getting boosted, who was getting buffed, what all was going on, and so I was not investing my tickets, coins, rubies poorly. And from there, that idea, the rundown was born. And I appreciate all the support. We've been growing this channel slowly but steady. And I know that this information is pretty niche. I know this is a little bit more underground, and not everyone invests in the same way as other people. I know there's some people that just play the game for fun and invest all their tickets in their favorite drivers, and that's perfectly okay. My goal is just to really be able to just discuss some of the changes in the game, and hopefully you enjoy that process. And it's something that I've been enjoying, and now that with the help of Marco has been much more sustainable. So I plan on doing these for each tour going forward. And thank you for your support. Definitely hit subscribe and like this video if you possibly can. Love to get the word out. So with that being said, jumping right into the Yoshi Tour. So I know we kind of use the word filler tour a lot. I think the Yoshi Tour, especially as this 1.5 year anniversary, multiple tours is kind of going full swing. I almost want to consider this a great appetizer tour, almost like a bloomin' onion tour. Is kind of what I've been calling it, just in that it's high in calories, low in nutrition, and it is just preparing us for what we really came for, that big juicy steak, that big Outback steak. So Bloomin' Onion Tour, the Yoshi Tour, call whatever you want, but it is just an appetizer for arguably, for my opinion, one of the biggest tours coming up here, this 1.5 year anniversary. So without further ado, though, there is a lot of unique aspects to what's going on in the game. I don't get into everything that you can figure out on your own, like challenges and stuff like that, but I like to get into pipes. Obviously, that's a big part of why this channel was created in the first place. Kind of just talking about this Yoshi 1 pipe, as an appetizer tour, I would just recommend, although this pipe is really great when it comes to the high-end odds, this is going to be one that you're going to have to probably try to hold off as much as possible this tour to save your rubies for next tour. I don't know what'll come, and we'll kind of discuss it a little bit here in a couple of slides, but I think the next tour is going to be well worth the wait. And as great as this looks, I would highly recommend probably just waiting one more tour to be able to pull on this pipe, or to be able to pull on any pipe. I expect those contents to be much better in the next tour. But for what it's worth, if you need something for top shelf, there are some good stuff in this pipe, and it is 9% odds. So not bad. I would say when it comes to the items that are based around a holiday, like this Egg Hunt Yoshi. He hadn't come around really at all, and not part of a lot of ranked in the last year. So, that's kind of pretty typical for holiday events. And from that perspective, White Yoshi, I don't know what his value is, but with Triple Mushroom, which we'll get to in a second here, I just don't see him as extremely valuable. I know people have already pulled on this pipe, but he's not bad. I just think that there's going to be so much good stuff coming next tour that I would hold if at all possible. As for the new contents in general, we were bombarded with new items. We're talking about 7 new items, 3 drivers, 3 karts, 1 glider. It's too much. It's just too much. It just is. And from that perspective, we already have so much stuff in the game. To have this much, just more Yoshis, I think I saw the Reddit meme where you have Nintendo selecting the new Yoshi alt, and they show them at Lowe's looking at the paint selection. There's too many, and it's nice, it's cute that they give us a blue Yoshi as a challenge gift, or for moving up in a tier. But man, it's just too much. It's nice to see his dash ring, that's for sure, but I'm not interested. I'm going to just say, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna do that well when it comes to Yoshi Tour once a year around Easter. But for what it's worth, I would just hold off. As for this being a kind of an Easter tour, I will say this is my 1 year anniversary in the game. So I started late when the pandemic hit full blast. I started this playing March 21st of last year. That's one of the reasons why I also went for top 10. For those of you who did not know, I went for top 10 in the Mario Tour and got number 11. So I was just short. And actually, I thought kind of those two things in tandem, this being my 1 year anniversary and then also going for that top 10, I thought of actually putting together a special video, which I'd like to do next week, about All Cup ranking and helping you when it comes to getting those All Cup rewards. So for this week, or for this tour, you're talking about a high-end and a cap ticket for all 3 items, which is massive. And I think from that perspective, just kind of talking a little bit about what I've learned. I think during the whole process, I learned a little bit about myself. I learned a lot about the game and just really kind of how to look at things a little differently. So from that perspective, I like to put out something. Haven't really thought exactly how it's going to happen, but I just thought I might celebrate my 1 year anniversary in the game with you guys, especially for those who have showed so much support over this past year. But anyway, be on the lookout for that. As for my personal game, my first high-end I ever got was Egg Hunt Yoshi. And you want to know how many times I used them in a actual course that I kept the score for, whether it be All Cup ranking or just ranked in general? 0 times. A big egg 0. So from that perspective, I kind of want to, I almost want to lump all these items in that same category. There might be something that sees value. This white Yoshi, triple mushrooms, he might be useful. I'm just going to say I'm going to hold off. And from that perspective, we'll kind of go into the rest of this pipe. You also have next week's high-end driver in this week's pipe as a non-spotlight. But nothing changed when it came to those drivers and what's going to be consistently in there. Same with karts. No new karts added to this permanent list. And with gliders, there's no glider in, doesn't seem like a spotlight glider in the week 2 pipe. So there's nothing here when it comes to added to this list. Now, of course, you'll see there's probably plenty of gliders you'll pull, but they won't be necessarily a spotlight for next week 2 pipe. With that being said, it's an interesting pipe. It's a Birdo pipe. I'd highly recommend not pulling on it. It does look like there will be 8 spotlights, but only 2 of those being high ends. There's a good chance that they'll, my personal guess is there might be a total of like 8 high ends in that pipe. They might put like 2 drivers, 2 karts, 2 gliders in there in addition to these 2 new high ends. But I think the only really good aspect that I would really be interested in this pipe is that it does seem like they're going to have higher supers. And we'll kind of see what the glider mix will be in there, but this could be like a good coin per ruby pipe. So I think from us, like we want coins. Coins are our friend right now. So from that perspective, it might be a higher coin per ruby pipe, but overall, I would just avoid this at all costs if you can. Again, next tours could be so awesome. I truly believe that. So just hold off if you can. As for the special pipe, by the time you're watching this, I'm recording right now Saturday evening, and by the time you're watching this, this pipe's already been released. So I won't talk too much about the speculation, whether it be 2 high-end drivers, 2 high-end gliders, or whatever. But I do feel like it'll be 2 and 2. We'll see what the rest of the pipes include. It might be all drivers and gliders. I think any special pipe that has drivers in it is good. I mean, the game revolves around drivers. We've had a lot of kart special pipes here lately. We've seen glider pipes as well, and they're typically much higher ratio of high-end to ruby. But that's just because the drivers are just so coveted. That's how the frenzies are all focused in on, and really those are key. So from that perspective, this pipe is probably going to be pretty tempting, and my guess is a 2 and 2. The one thing I want to talk about is, if you're just looking to level these up, I wouldn't go necessarily into these. It doesn't look like there'll be any spotlights. So from that perspective, if you're going in for Mario Sunshine, you might be pulling a lot to try to get him because he's not going to be guaranteed, and there might only be 2 drivers in that pipe. So, you could be pulling for a while. Now, I myself, I don't have DK Jr., and he looks pretty cool, so I might pull on this pipe. I also don't have the Sunset Balloons, but I'm going to try to not go full into this pipe. This is going to be one that I'm going to have to just kind of go in and get what I need and get out and try to see how I can get out unscathed. So I'll try to release a video there. But from that perspective, this pipe is a good pipe. it's decent. Some of these banana gliders. I'm not a big banana guy when it comes to the gliders, but I love the drivers with bananas. When you think about triple bananas or giant bananas, even the banana barrel, I'm a big fan of. I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, I think that you can use it pretty effectively once you get the hang of it. So from that perspective, decent pipe. We'll see what happens when it comes to the other contents in that pipe. Could be another good coin per ruby pipe, but the reason I just want to hedge your expectations is just get ready for next tour. You don't want to be full on that bloomin' onion that you can't go in and eat that juicy steak. As for the packs this tour, I do want to kind of touch on this a little bit longer because in preparation for next tour, I don't know what the packs will be. I don't know what's going to come in them, but there's some stud packs this tour. So I want to talk about it. It might make sense for you to be able to what do they say? A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. You don't know what's going to come next tour. You don't know what those packs are going to be. We know there are some great items here, like Nabbit and this Black Dozer. You're going to want to have these secured, and it might make sense for you to get the rubies now, and then just kind of wait and see when it comes to the packs for next tour. I think the packs will be good. Don't get me wrong. I'll probably invest heavily, but from this perspective, just kind of want to talk about if you are looking to load up, not bad packs here. I will say if there is one dud on this, it's going to be this purple bunny. Not a big fan. It's not got the best skill, and we'll see what the value is. But there's just so many carts. It's just not as valuable, especially if it is Easter related and only has value similar to the Bright Bunny. However, the 90 pack this week, if you were one of those who did not get Nabbit, or maybe the ones who went ham into that pipe and finally got Nabbit, and then now see this pack is out there, you may have some unique feelings about this, but this is definitely a great pack. When you think about having gliders, having new gliders up a higher level. I mean, this is the only glider that was released, so that it's going to probably be pretty valuable when it comes to some of the tracks that it starts to attract. Typically, from kind of talking with Tabor, typically something's released and then it gets buffed the next tour because it's new, and then it gets maybe buffed 1, and then it gets buffed 2, and then it gets buffed 1. It kind of goes through a gradual buffing over the next following tours. But here's the thing: is if there's only one glider to buff, it's probably going to get the majority of the next few tracks. So just knowing that this is the only glider this tour is actually helpful because it might be top shelf in these next couple tours, because they only have really one option to throw it into. And then, of course, you have Nabbit, who is a phenomenal driver. And you'll notice in our top 10, he is doing very well. He is sitting pretty, that is for sure. So stud of all stud packs there. And then this Black Dozer, it's a stud. We talked about this and the Gilded King being kind of neck and neck for that Wild Black of 2021. It has been taken off. Now, of course, you might have pulled it in the special pipe a couple weeks ago, which was a great pipe, and you probably did pull it. This is one you're going to want at a high level. I foresee you to continue to go up really high. And then this last pack, if we were doing stud, dud, and meh, I would give the meh award to this last pack. But I think if I was under the gun, I'd say this is a dud pack. I mean, we know Black Yoshi's got so much value, but he's, after being starved of access to him, he's been shoved down our throat for basically the last 6 months between challenge gifts and pipes and packs, and man, we've just had so much access to him that this may not be worth this large amount when it comes to the rubies. And it's not the silver and gold bells, balloons, whatever it is. It's not bad. There's no doubt about it not being bad. It's just, is it better than some of the other options you might have next tour, or even compared to this Nabbit pack? So just want to hold your thoughts there, and as you're looking at these packs and planning for next tour. That's what we'll get into now. So as I mentioned, Yoshi Tour, a Appetizer Tour, a Bloomin' Onion Tour, getting ready for next tour. I am I am very hyped. I know Nintendo has let us down many times, but I don't foresee them the way that they've been building for this anticipation. I do not see this tour being a letdown whatsoever. I'm expecting this to be one of my favorite tours, and I'm already looking forward to it. Is it going to be a city tour? Is it not? I don't know. But what I will say is we can look at the data mining, and there's been something that stuck out. For one, we found out that there are some challenges, which I don't normally talk about, but these are challenges with doing things with bamboo. So, similar to like the Monty Moles coming out of the Sunset Winds, or any number of tricks that we can do off of new objects. It does look like there's going to be a new object in the game, most likely next tour, about bamboo. So I don't know if you're driving over the bamboo and you get that jump boost off of them, similar to the moles, or what it might be. But there will be bamboo. And from that, it's kind of leading us to think that there might be a Shanghai tour or a China tour. Most of the time they're named after cities, and then the theme is kind of loosely based on the country. Now, we have known in the picture, and that's kind of why we put Wario there, is that there is like this garlic or onion, whatever you want to call it, there noticed in the picture. But then, of course, we have Wario Man, whose secret item or item that gives him power is this garlic. And so from that perspective, we might see Wario Man. We might just see a Wario alt, like some kind of Shanghai warrior outfit from some of these from a long time ago. So a couple thoughts there. When it comes to that speculation, though, a couple ideas that we came up with is there are two levels that have a lot of bamboo in them in Wario Land Shake It. One being Bamboozle Village and one being Mount Big Hill. Both of these levels in this Wario Land Shake It seem to have a lot of bamboo, and they could be loosely tied. I wouldn't necessarily, if it is one of these two tracks and it says like Bamboozle Village, way or something like that, then we're talking about more of a Merry Mountain style track that's going to be coming back over and over again versus something that says like Shanghai Slip or something like that, where that's probably going to be more of a city. But from speculation, here's just two ideas. Bamboozle Village and Mount Big Hill could potentially be themed type of tracks. Again, there weren't tracks before. This is not some 3DS land that has already existed, but just maybe kind of some loose ties. And probably even the bigger data mining would be the fact that they've found some sprites that are apparently called Super Leaf. So if you're like me, you're excited about a potential Tanuki. This has been one, especially as an original Nintendoer, I've been longing for the day that this could potentially be a driver in Mario Kart Tour, and it looks like it could be on the horizon. Now, if you remember, it was probably 3 or 4 tours ago, we got this Amsterdam sprite that we noticed, and we haven't seen Amsterdam obviously since then. I think that came out in the Berlin tour or right after that. But so I don't want you to think that this is coming next tour. It certainly could, but this could be coming this summer. This could be they just inserted it into the game for some later date. So we'll find out when that's coming. But I'm super excited if Tanuki eventually finally comes into the game. We've all been looking forward to that day. So we'll wait in anticipation, but definitely something to get excited about. Now time for Who Got Buffed. We'll start with the drivers. And as you can probably tell, this list is probably the smallest list of buffs we've ever seen. Now, of course, it's following a tour where we had some of the most buffs of all time. Like, this screen was like 3 times as many drivers that got buffed last tour. So for this tour, obviously the new tracks are RT tracks, and we have all kinds of new RT tracks or RT tracks brought back. So it's not, anything to be alarmed about. But it is just nice to know that they're kind of calming down a little bit. But I think it's going to be the calm before the storm. Next tour is going to be massive. So at least from this perspective, though, it looks like just 8 drivers buffed. Cat Peach is one to be noted, though. I think from her perspective, she's now in this 100 pipe and all clear pipe, so I think she's going to be extremely worth investing in as time goes on. It's definitely something that's you're going to be glad you invested, and definitely worth the investment. I think she's going to be very valuable as time goes on. I think she'll eventually break into our top 10, despite her skill being meh. We also have Pauline Rose. She does not a big fan of her skill, but she did get buffed 3 times. And a couple other, slightly random buffs, I will say, just kind of pointing this out. Mario Racing only got 1 buff. That's somewhat odd, but I think his value will come, and I think that'll probably come next tour too. So if you do have him for some reason, again, hopefully you didn't pull on that pipe, but if maybe you got him as a non-spotlight in that week 2 pipe, he would be someone definitely worth investing in, because I think he'll get most of his buffs next tour. All right, moving into Karts. So this Cacti got 3 new tracks. That's great for that. Wild Pink, definitely pretty strong there with 12 tracks now, 4 cities though. And then you have a good number of karts, about 9 total, that got 1 new track. Black Dozer, balling out right now, number 4 on our list, as you can see here. But a couple other noted ones: Pumpkin Cart, another holiday style kart, number 7 on our list, and up to 16 tracks there, 1 city. And then the Steel Driver has the most tracks on this list with 17 now. It's a solid kart for sure, definitely worth investing in if you need to. Not in our top 10, but it does seem to be in ranked quite a lot over the last couple weeks. I do think maybe its skills holding it back a little bit. As for the gliders, you just had the Snow Crystals get 2 new tracks, and then a good number of them, about 12 total, get 1 new track. I'm probably not going to go through all of these, but one of the things I want to point out: Silver Star Shoot continues to get a lot of love, up to 17 tracks, 4 cities. Silver Bells, a great one as well, 18 non-city tracks plus 4 cities. That's a total of 22 tracks. It's very solid glider there. I know I invested in it this week for the RT Royal Raceway. And then you have the Super Mario Kart glider, getting nice buffs there, up to 19 non-cities. And then surprisingly, the Spider glider, 18 non-city tracks there. And then that Silver and Gold Hearts that we were talking about earlier now has 17 non-cities. 5 cities, though. It's a lot of cities. So the 2 got buffed on the gliders. Again, kind of a short section here, obviously with the unique aspect of what's happened with buffs this tour. Now, when it comes to the top 10, we've kind of talked about this algorithm a number of different times. It takes into consideration the skill of the item, a very small sliver there, but most of its value comes from its coverage, and also from being involved in ranked. So again, past ranked involvement doesn't always predict future ranked involvement. However, it does seem like it's good to know when items are popular and when Nintendo seems to like or favor certain drivers. It definitely, we've seen everything from Penguin Luigi to keep getting buffed after buff after buff. Wedding Peach is a great example, where she continues to get buffed and buffed as she's already on our top 10. A good example for her is she broke top 10. I think it was the LA Tour, and she has been on that list consistently then. So if you saw her break that list and then invested in her, then you've been paying off dividends. That is for sure. But as always, this is not covering everyone. This is not like a personalized list for you. So just take this list with a grain of salt. Just know that these items that are on this list are going to be in a lot of people's top items. So I always recommend going out to Gerbs, whatever it might be. Just go to their list and download it for yourself. Insert your arsenal, your inventory there, and then it'll spit out who's the most valuable for you. It'll spit out a lot of information on where you are lacking when it comes to that coverage, and that way you can be able to, from a personalized standpoint, know what to invest in. For this list, though, these items that are on this list are probably going to be on most people's, or probably on more people's most important drivers, karts, and gliders list than anybody else in the game. So, these are consistent. These are going to be on a lot of people's lists. but I would highly recommend just looking at your own personal list. As for the top 10, we have a new number one, and it is one great driver that all coveted for such a long time. I know I took him to 7, and then I still wanted to get the pack with him in it because he's just such an awesome driver. Nabbit, up 3 spots, now to our number one, has knocked the princess off of her throne there. So she is actually both Peach Wedding, Lakitu Party Time, my boy, and Dry Bones Gold. All fell 1 spot to make room for Nabbit. So all kind of in one foul swoop. Kudos to Nabbit. He's done a great job of gradually climbing. I know he broke our top 10 a few months back, and I know that if you had him and you were investing in him, you're definitely not regretting that. That's for sure. Black Yoshi, obviously it's a Yoshi Tour, so he's very involved in ranked, as you probably already found out. So he is now number 5 on our list up to. I do wonder if he'll fall back down, but definitely from a coverage perspective, a solid driver. I know if you fill out the Bam and Gerbs list, and Black Yoshi's going to be a great one for you just in general coverage, and from that perspective, you might be good for you if you don't have him at all to get him in that pack. But I think most people already have him. I always hesitate putting tickets in someone like that, but he's going to be solid. He's got great coverage. Pink Gold Peach, holding down number 6 for the second week in a row. Mario Chef down 2 spots. He's at 7. He's been great. It's again always great to see Lucky 7 drivers on our list. Peach Explorer, she's from a coverage perspective, she is solid. Skill, but she has been holding down this top 10 now for a few tours. I think she was at 11 last time, but I think she's going to be on this list just from coverage perspective. Nintendo's liked her a lot. But she's at number 8 this tour. Mario Halloween broke the top 10 last tour. He is holding down that 9 spot. The King Boo Gold unfortunately fell 2 spots, number 10, but a solid driver. I expect him to be definitely in our top 15, probably for all of 2021. He is an awesome driver, and I know you love using him. He's so much fun. Now getting to 11 to 15, we have Penguin Luigi at 11. Great coverage for him. Peach Vacation, 12 spots. So I know that these next ones are Coinbox drivers, so you can't go wrong here. But Peach Vacation, Gold Koopa Free Running, Rosalina Swimwear, and Bowser Santa. But my condolences to Omer for Peach Wedding finally getting dethroned. But I do expect her to be very solid top 5 for a number of tours. So fun to see, though, a new champion or a new king on top. As for the karts, Happy Ride still holding number 1. I do know that some people are skeptical of its value, but it's a great card, especially to put tickets in. You know you're not going to pull it in anything, so feel free to put tickets on it and know that you're not going to pull duplicates that you're not going to need. That's at least one of my fears. But Wild Black, Rose Queen, they've been number 2, number 3, or number 3 and number 2. And flip-flopped most of the year. Right now, Wild Black is 2 and Rose Queen is 3. Black Dozer, we talked about this, popped up into this top 5, which is wonderful for him. I know we were, again, kind of going back and forth as this Gilded King and Black Dozer. I expect them to continue to go neck and neck all year, but both solid cards on our top 10 list for sure. Off-Roader, it's been very consistent, just barely outside of that Wild Black Rose Queen area, but solid card, one of my favorite, just on the sheer size of it. Choco Macaroon, number 6. Pumpkin Cart, up 7 spots, number 7 on our list. As we mentioned, anytime that you have a holiday style item, it's always odd to see it continue to have value, but it's been a solid card, and love the skill too. Party Wing, one of my favorite cards. It is down 2 spots, unfortunately, number 8 right now. Gilded King, my absolute favorite card, mainly because I love black and yellow, you know that. But it is down 2 spots, unfortunately, down to number 9. And then we have Fast Frank at 10. Great looking card for sure. As for the 11 to 15, we have Head Honcho at 11. Crawley Kart. I know a lot of people might be sad about this falling out of our top 10. Still a solid card. I expected to get back in the top 10 for sure. Sweet Day Tripper, former top 10, number 14. And then Gilded Prancer, a card a lot of people put tickets on to take the 7 because it was very, very popular during level get-in. It is number 15. Still a solid card, especially with Jump Boost Plus. Love that. Finally, to gliders, we have Dragon Wings holding down this number 1 spot for months. No surprise there. Gold Crane, Strawberry Donut, both holding down their respective number 2 and number 3. All solid gliders. I have all 3 of these gliders double uncapped, and I would highly recommend that. They're very solid gliders for sure. Super Mario Kart glider, number 4, now on our list. Sneaky. I know it has a lot of the Mario circuit tracks, and we've seen a lot of Mario circuit between last tour and this tour, so it's nice to see some value there, but I do wonder if that'll go down once we get these Mario circuits out of our way and out of our system. I don't want to see a Mario circuit ever again, but that's mainly because my All Cup ranking grind. Gold Glider, number 5, down 1. Gold Super and Royal Parachute holding down their spots from last tour at number 6 and number 7 respectively. Then Sunset Balloons up 2 spots, so number 8 on our list. That's wonderful. And then we got Silver Star Shoot, an awesome glider. If you put tickets on this Silver Star Shoot, you will not regret it. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long to get on to this list and to break the top 10. But it's number 9 on our list, and I expect it to be on this top 10 for a while. It's been very odd how frequently Nintendo has allowed this to be on some of the paywall tracks or kind of these new tracks that are released. But solid glider there. And then Starshoot, down 1 to number 10. I know a lot of people love this Starshoot. I just have so much other coverage. I'm not as big of a fan as like this Gold Crane. Man, I love the Gold Crane. Even Gold Glider, I have it 7 double uncapped because of just especially for this All Cup ranking. But it's still solid. Starshoot, still a solid glider, no doubt. But number 10 on our list. I wonder if this might be our last tour with the number 10. We'll see. 8-Bit Star has fallen, but it has been one of those that has been very volatile on our list. It has gone up and down and up and down. I think it was even at number 2 at one point, but it is number 11 on our list right now. Bright Glider in number 12, Chocolate Banana Crepe at 13, Silver Bells number 14, and Dry Bowser Umbrella, potentially the next Dragon Wings of 2021, number 15 on our list. So those are all who got buffed, and then our top 10, and then finally our All Cup ranking MVPs. And so if you are going for All Cup ranking, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about some strategies and some tips so you don't repeat the same mistakes that I did, it is going to be helpful to have these items at high levels. And if you're looking at throwing a ticket just because you need to be able to get that last ticket, or just to be able to get the badge you need, feel free to throw on any of these. I will say, typically, some of the highest ones are drivers, karts, and gliders that are new, just because they have 2 tracks, and then so if they have the track in week 1, they also, there's 2 of that track in the All Cup ranking, so they have that, and then if they have reverse or they have T, it just adds up pretty quickly. But it is nice to see Dry Bowser Gold, 9 total tracks this All Cup ranking. That's great for him. He's already had great coverage, so I know I have him at a pretty high level, but I think he's been had a lot of these tracks kind of taken away from him and given to Coinbox drivers, where I'm probably not going to use them if I have the option to use a better scale, but still great coverage there. Unfortunately, just that coverage is spread too thin. Black Yoshi, King Bob-omb. White Yoshi has 8, and then King Bob-omb, Black Yoshi, DK Jr., and Lakitu Party Time, and Rosalina Aurora, all with 7 tracks. This is going to be the best bang for your buck. Any of these 5 drivers are going to be great to put tickets on for this All Cup ranking. Specifically, Black Yoshi, King Bob-omb, and Lakitu Party Time. Those are 3 heavy hitters when it comes to Nintendo really giving them a lot of power. Especially Lakitu Party Time, my personal favorite. And then 6 drivers with 6 tracks, including Nabbit and Luigi Lederhosen. Surprisingly, he's been pretty valuable lately. As for the karts, we got the 2 new karts with 10 and 9. But then where you want to kind of pay attention to is these 8 and 7. So we're talking head honcho, gold pipe frame, and this white turbo Yoshi, all with 8 tracks this tour. And then you have the gold egg, dreamy egg, and the green circuit with 7 this tour. I will say that green circuit's been pretty sneaky with the jump boost plus. Hopefully you got him in one of the kart pipes or got him in before, but pretty sneaky good kart there. Surprised it hasn't broken our top 10, but I think it's just because of how many cities it has. So then we have 6 drivers with 6 tracks. Most notably, we got the Rose Queen, who is a very, very powerful kart. Almost every cup, it seems like it's got at least 5 or 6 tracks. It's just a very solid kart to be able to invest in for sure, regardless of this tour. And then finally, the gliders. You get this gold crane with 8. You gotta love that pink gold paper glider, a solid glider as well, with 8. And then you have the jumping Mario, Hanafuda, and the bright balloons with both with 8 as well. 8-bit star, you gotta love that with 7. Wicked Wings with 7 as well. Treasure Map, and not a lot of people have the Treasure Map high level, but 8-bit star, a great glider to take up, and the Wicked Wings, of course, is a classic glider that we're seeing a lot, regardless of its value in top 10, etc. And then 6 gliders that also have 6 tracks. We're talking this Strawberry Donut. It's kind of similar to this Rose Queen. It's just such a great glider. Continue to see in All Cup ranking all the time. So definitely worth investing there. And then a couple others. Dry Bowser Umbrella, a solid glider as well. I know I took it to 6 here recently just because of it's been involved in these new tracks, and I do expect it to be the Dragon Wings of 2021. So there you go. There's the All Cup ranking MVPs. And then the final segment is just kind of talking a little bit about the tracks for this week and next week, and just kind of highlighting which items have these tracks at level 6 and level 3 that you might not know about. When you're talking about Yoshi Circuit, you have Birdo Black. You probably don't have her at level 6, but she would have that track. Black Yoshi, you probably know he's got it at level 3. That might even be one of your best bets. I know I used him for this track, but I mean, Mario SNES, if you pulled him last tour, I mean, I don't think anyone's really suffering when it comes to drivers on that track. And really kind of same thing with karts and gliders for that Yoshi circuit, so I won't spend too much time. But Pinkwing has it at 6. That's nice to know. But most of the time, you're probably going to be using, who knows? Maybe you're using a Zucchini. Maybe you're using the Turbo Yoshi. You may not even be using a high end, and that's perfectly fine. That's what's interesting about this level get-in is you're having to pick between a triple capped level 7 super versus a single capped high end 6, and it's just a lot of scenarios you're having to pick from. But anyway, when you're talking about gliders, you have the Black Great Sail at level 3, Silver Manta glider at level 3. They both came out around the same time, and then that eggshell glider a lot of people are using has this at level 6, which is good to know there. Choco Mountain Tea, Mario Sunshine at level 3. You have Rosalina Swimwear at level 6. I see a lot of her. I'm having to pick between her and Nabbit, and it's tough. Coinbox versus Lucky 7. I've been kind of going through and looking at other people's scores, and I got I won't take too long on this, but with Nabbit I got Lucky 7 coin and got 43,000 or so. But I know that I've been seeing 46,000 or so with Rosalina Swimwear at level 6. So I have that. I'm going to be giving that a shot and trying to compare them and see if I can get even a double coin box. I'm sure it's probably going to beat that Nabbit score. We'll see. As for the cards for that Choco Mountain Tea, we got Badwagon at level 6. You got the Gold Cranky Cart at Clanky Cart at level 3, and then Gold Snow Skimmer at level 3 as well. Baby Mario Hanafuda level 6, Choco Banana Crepe at level 6, and then Safety Glider at level 6. A lot of great gliders there. You're probably most likely using the Gold Swooper, from that perspective, or the Strawberry Donut, but a lot of options there. And then the new Royal Raceway RT. This is the one I had. I'm struggling with. I think I'm going with a 465, I believe is what it is. I'm limping in with this builder toad and not enjoying it whatsoever. I've been getting, I think I got 2 coin frenzies after 30-40 runs. But nothing there spectacular when it comes to level 3, level 6. But you're having to make some tough choices. I think from those cards, that wild pink is that's worth investing in my opinion, if you're having to choose between a couple there. If you have that B-Dasher Mark II, that's a solid one. There's no doubt. It may not be your highest level, but if all things are level 1, I would maybe throw tickets at that too. As for the gliders there, you're having a hard time. I mean, I know I decided to go all in on the silver bells just because it broke that top list, and that's how I use the top 10 list for me. Is like, hey, I'm having to pick between the freaking planet glider and the silver bells. Which one am I going to invest in? Well, I'm going to lean towards this top 10 because I know that the coverage is there. I know that it's popular. I know it would help me on a couple tracks. Say like I think it was from a couple weeks ago. One of the Choco Island remixes with Wedding Peach, where she was a part of Ranked. But so it would help me on a couple tracks. But overall, I think it's going to be a solid glider there. As for week 2, we have the Waluigi Cup. We already know that. So the Donut Plains 2 RT, definitely a new track. It's a fun track. I think it's one of the best Donut Plains in the game now. But you're having to kind of another tough choice. You're having to pick between Penguin Toad and Daisy Holiday Cheer. I know I'm going to be, unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but Daisy Holiday Cheer, I'm going to be using her, and I'm probably going to throw a couple tickets. But I'm not, I just don't use her very often because, again, she's a holiday character. It's going to be tough. I'm going to probably be, like, putting tickets on her, with my eyes closed and hoping it doesn't hurt me later. As for the carts, the Black Dozer is one that sticks out for me. It's going to be a great cart. Pumpkin cart as well. Just an awesome cart to invest in for sure. Then for gliders, we got the Silver Starchute. Man, it's such a great glider. Super Mario Kart glider as well. As for the Sunset Winds, Sunset Wilds, we've seen this a couple times. Just got two gliders that have it at level 6. The Butterfly Prism. And the Calico Parafoil. If you have Cat Peach, not a bad glider to invest in. Seems like the one to be paired with Cat Peach is this Calico Parafoil. Not bad, not broken any top, anything at this point in time, but it does seem like it's on the rise. And I do, if they kind of tie things almost kind of similar to Wedding Peach, and her being tied to Silver Bells, when she gets valued and she gets buffed, so does it seems like her glider too. So with Cat Peach, I think she's going to be powerful later on. I expect her to break our top 10 here in a month or so. This Calico Parafoil is going to be probably pretty popular as well. We'll see. And the Waluigi Pinball, man, so many options. You're going to have to make some tough choices. You're going to be looking most likely, at some coin box drivers. I know you got Bowser Santa. He's going to be a really popular one. I'm gonna love using that. It's gonna be fun. But you got a lot of carts as well, man. Just so many carts. But you do get Builder Toad there at level 6, and then you have Luigi Lederhosen at level 3. You got the Bruiser at level 6. You got the Green Circuit at level 6, and the Poison Apple Card at level 3. And then for gliders with Waluigi Pinball T, you have the Bullet Bill Hanafuda level 3, and the Dry Bowser Umbrella at level 6, and the Gold Crane level at 3. So from that perspective, you're probably going to be going Gold Crane. There's so many coins on this track. But yeah, that concludes the rundown. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and feel free to, if you didn't like this at the very beginning, like I told you to, I'd love for you to be able to like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, to the little bell thing so you know when this is coming. That's the one downside, is I'm not as consistent about releasing this at the same time every tour, and I'm going to hopefully be bringing these out a little earlier, maybe even Thursday, Friday, thanks to Marco. But just from that perspective, if you push that little bell button, you'll get notified as soon as these get released. And so from that perspective, I just thank you so much for tuning in, and enjoy your Bloomin' Onion tour.